on this not bad weather day here in the St. Louis region. It's not bad at all, not too windy, just perfect, right amount of sunshine. But how are you folks doing today? All right, got some high fives in the building. Chest bump that thing. Let's hug it out. Gotta hug yourself. Gotta hug yourself. That's key. Gotta hug yourself. Gotta get in there for the real thing for sure. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating an anniversary, happy anniversary to you. If you're off today, congratulations. And if you're still running on high off of winning in the college football national championship game, congratulations. Those of you know who you are. That won some cha-ching out there. Way to go, folks. Way to go, folks. Way to go, for sure. There we go. There we go. Well, how are you guys doing? We got some stuff to get into, for sure. We definitely got some stuff to get into today. But the football world was just turned upside down to me. Everybody knows all the answers. But when there's a situation that happens, that who's to blame becomes more key than anything. Do you blame the quarterback? You blame the offensive coordinator. You blame the head coach, the GM, the defensive coordinator. Are we blaming individual players? It was all over the place. From Saturday to Monday, football was all over the place. The controversy going over the cameraman from Monday night, we got to talk about that. And what happened in Buffalo's locker room? Oh, my goodness. You talking about drama. They were saying that people were in their locker rooms on the floor crying, just crying hysterically. The Buffalo Bills players were apparently after the game on Saturday. Going to talk about that, and which is the top coaching job out there right now. And based on what Indiana did on Monday night against Miami, against the U, is that the best impossible title you saw coming in sports, you think? Or is there one that really resonate with you? Because no one had Indiana on the map winning football games, let alone going to the playoffs, let alone doing what they did in the playoffs, and let alone win the national championship. So we got that to talk about for sure. And also, I got a little Boondocks reference as well, too. A little Boondocks reference. So there you have it right there, folks. So before we get into the show, I think these discussions are needed about friendship, living, health, and finance. I think it is needed. I don't think we're having those conversations enough. We're not taking those conversations very seriously. When the last time somebody checked on you? When the last time you checked on somebody? Actually gave someone a phone call, went by their house, no FaceTime, no texting, but you went by the house, or you called them and had a physical conversation with them. When the last time you checked on someone like that? When's the last time? And we're not going to get into this doctor situation. We talked about this last year. For my men folk over 40, go to the doctor. Get on out there. It is that time of year where people make some of the unusual decisions about financing when it comes to tax season. Folks, be careful out there. There's scammers out there. Be careful. Watch your back, watch your side, watch your left, look up and down. But be careful with your decisions you're making with these financial adjustments when it comes to your tax dollars. But having that conversation with your friends or even your relatives or even your siblings, I think those conversations are needed more than just the get together. But the conversation, it really helps. Are you doing the best you can do as a friend? Are you really a good friend? Do you think you consider yourself a good friend to your friend community? As far as communication, as far as getting a hold of you, and as far as how often you talk to your friends. Because I'm noticing the older I get, the circle gets smaller, but the bond gets tighter, if that makes any sense. The older you get, your friend circle gets smaller, but I think the bond is tight. Now, we all had 50-11 friends before, but of those 50-11 friends we had back in the day, how many of them were actually our friends, as opposed to the friend circle that you have now. And also, it's okay to have a situation. It's part of living. You're going to have situations. It's called that challenge in life. And it seems to come at times that no one expects it to. But that's why they call it life. That's why they call it living. And I think most of us revert back to something to help us get over that hump, that challenging point when it comes to that situation. I think we all have a certain skill set that we can go back to when we get to those life moments, when we get to things we just don't understand. We're not angry or frustrated at it. We just don't understand the situation. Well, if you're not doing nothing tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 11, we'll be at Bricks Coffee in Central West End at 4630 Lindell from 9 to 11 with a daily drip with Dre Montez. Coffee and conversation. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. Coffee and conversations. If it's your first time tuning in, thank you so much. Thank you for following on StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the follows, the listens, the compliments, the complaints. I appreciate it all for sure. Now, get over here and this thing over here. Where is it at? It's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Monday night, college football national championship. To the Miami Hurricanes in Indiana. Who's yours? They always try to take the fun away from us. It seems as though. When a cameraman is just doing his job. I have a question. When did so many collegiate athletes start dating porn stars? I didn't get the memo on this. Carson Beck hitting that. What? Where did Philip? You might want to check on your son in college and make sure he's dating, the right people. How are porn stars, a retired porn star at that? How are they getting connected with these college football players lately and college baseball players? It is a growing situation in the collegiate world with these athletes. They want to date a porn star. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, they're people too. But for the cameraman to put it on blast like that, and the internet went crazy. The internet we lose our mind anytime a cameraman pays too much attention to a particular type of woman when we're watching, especially March Madness. March Madness, they bring the thunder. Because Timmy's mom is fine. You find out who good-looking mamas are doing March Madness and who dating who. But the cameraman was on point, but not to take away from that game. That Mendoza is something special. That 4th and 5 touchdown run, 4th and 5, that right there set the tone right there. I think that 4th and 5 touchdown run, that took Miami's Hurricane up out of there. It was a wrap. It was a three-piece. And he was the first Heisman Trophy to win the national championship since Alabama receiver Devontae Smith, I believe. The criticism that young man had from week 8 into now, I want to meet this reporter that keeps saying he throws awkwardly. He's not an NFL caliber quarterback. What was he watching? What game did he watch? It seems to be every year there's a quarterback we already want to put into the Hall of Fame of the NFL, and he's still in college. Every year there's a player. I can't wait till he get to the league. Then we rushed him. Then we say, we told you he wasn't going to be ready. Where is it written that in the bylaws that if I go to the NFL, the expectations are off the paper for me? If I win a national championship, if I win the Heisman Trophy, they've already predicted my next 5 years. Why can't we let this thing play out? Every year, there's a player, it doesn't go the way we think it's going to go. We already know these franchises are not always out for your best interest. I don't think there's a proven way to prove your guaranteed projections on future talent. You have to play the thing out. And we know every year there's always a big name that gets hurt when attempting to make the jump to the NFL, i.e. training, working out. Don't pull something. But the fact that Mendoza is should get the applause, the appreciation, but it's coming with already projectiles of what he could possibly do with the Raiders with the number 1 pick. But who's to say the Raiders going to keep that pick? Those top 5 picks they're looking to change the whole franchise with those picks. The first 5 picks of the draft, they're looking for you to stay there at least 10 years. They're looking to change the culture. A lot of these teams are. So it could be some shenanigans with the first 5 picks in the NFL draft coming up in April. But I don't think it's warranted that when we see talent, good talent in college football, and we find out they want to go pro, or they haven't made their decision yet, we already thinking in our mind what they should do. And I don't think that's fair. Why can't we enjoy the moment of them playing collegiate football for a couple more years? Now, I don't think anybody's playing 4 years anymore. We got kids 4 to 8 years in college right now. Told you last year, Miami had a tight end last year that was 27 years old. He was medically redshirted 5 times. Wasn't his fault he couldn't stay healthy. But he played. He was 27 years old. He had a family. A whole family. That is insane. That is insane. But we're going to see more of that. But congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers on winning the national championship against Miami. That was a hell of a game. And shout out to my cousin Ray. He graduated from Indiana, and he was at the game. I was looking for you on TV, cuz. I was looking for you. Speaking of looking for you, has anybody seen DJ Moore of the Bears? Anybody seen him? Huh? I'm usually on the side of the player. And I'm usually on the side of the fan when it makes sense. Not the fighting. Not that. Not the crazy tailgating. Not that. But the fan. I'm on the side. I'm on the side with the fans about why DJ Moore, Chicago Bear receiver, didn't want to speak to the media after the loss. All these receivers that was running their miz out about throw me the damn ball, I'm the playmaker, throw me the damn ball, they didn't show up. A.J. Brown, DJ Moore didn't show up. Buffalo Bills receivers didn't show up. Well, they didn't have any. That's another hot mess. Allegedly, after that game, Denver and Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills locker room was 53 Merle Streets. They said they were in there boo-hooing like crazy. To the point, did Sean McDermott deserve to be fired? Who's to blame? Josh? The GM? Offensive coordinator? Defensive coordinator? It's a shame when teams lose. There must be some accountability. It's part of life. It's a part of life. I knew Buffalo was in trouble when the Keon Coleman situation was going on. Going to sleep in practice. That mysterious trip he took to Canada. They don't need those type of distractions. It's their fault that they did not draft the correct receiver. And the owner talking about he didn't want Keon Coleman. You didn't voice your opinion loud enough. What is happening to the Buffalo Bills sincerity, there's no way I would have believed this. 7 times in only 2 AFC championship games. All that talent that team has. We question Lamar. We question Joe Burrow. We've questioned Patrick Mahomes. Every quarterback has been tested when they get to that certain point of their career or a certain part of the season, and we're looking for them to man up. With everybody being hurt and teams not making the playoffs, everybody said it's a clear path to freedom for Josh Allen. Clear path to freedom. We don't care about what Pittsburgh going to do. We don't care about what the Patriots going to do. We don't care about the Broncos. They said we're going to give this thing here to Josh. You got to play the game, though, son. Your defense got to play defense. 27-3. But it's Josh's fault? Well, you didn't play the best game. That ill-advised running with the ball barehanded. And I kept telling myself, watching the game while talking to the TV, let Josh do Josh things and let's capitalize off of Josh things. Because Josh going to do Josh things. But after the fact, there is no way I'm going to watch the game again. This time, I want to see if they go in the locker room. Because I got to hear this. That an NFL team locker room was in that much of a disarray after the game Saturday. I bet that was a quiet flight home. And the owner said the reason they fired Sean McDermott was because of that loss against Denver. Man has a 73 win percentage. 7 years. Nothing but production. And he gets let go like that. I'm with Stephen A. If I was Sean McDermott, go get the Baltimore Ravens head coaching job. Go get that job. Go get that job. Go get that job. You talking about pissing some people off. Let Sean McDermott get that Baltimore Ravens job. Ooh-wee. I can see the headlines now. How dare you? You fired him. You fired him. What you expect to happen? You break up with your girl. What you think she's supposed to just sit in the room and eat chocolate and pout all day? No. She want to get her a new man. Come on now. John Harbaugh, the New York Football Giants' new head coach. I like that press conference. I like what he spoke. He spoke truth. He didn't speak kiss ass. He spoke truth. What that team has. All they just need is just a little tush. Just a tush push and coaching. If he bring that offensive coordinator with him, the one that was not allegedly speaking to Lamar for 4 months, if he brings him to the Giants with him to coach Jackson Dart, he could have an Eli-type season. He could have an Eli-type season if everything goes according to plan. And as bad as a football team, the New York Football Giants and the New York Football Jets have been in the past 14, 15 years is an embarrassing moment. They're in the largest media market in all of sports, and they have those two crappy teams. All that money, all that talent, but they can't seem to put it together. But they were another team. They didn't prepare for the life after Eli, after Michael Strahan. They didn't prepare for that. They just thought talent just going to come to New York. It doesn't happen that way. You got to draft. You have to prepare. You have to study. You have to look at film. It seems like they would just read numbers off a board, read names off a board instead of actually looking at the talent that they were going to get. Now, the past two drafts, they have been adding some pieces to the puzzle. They're almost there. They need a good vet. On defense, someone is going to get in somebody's ass on defense. They need somebody like that to hit them in the mid-out. That's what they miss. The Jets, that's another story. But this Harbaugh situation, I think it's a good idea. It's a good fit for the Giants. Now, these next three jobs, I don't know which one is the hottest. The Ravens, Buffalo, or Pittsburgh. The Ravens, you already know how that owner is. He was with one man for 18 years. You done seen him talk for the first time ever in a press conference. Probably like 12 years. Steve Bisciotti. Two-button open, shirt open, chest hair, Pinky finger. Buffalo. They're getting a new stadium. Opens up next year. Well, there's football season coming up in September. Opens up then. What coach ready for that? Pittsburgh. We know the story there. They've only had Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. This is going to be their fourth head coach in history of their franchise. That speaks volumes. But what coach is out there that makes sense to one of these franchises? And Pittsburgh been stuck in their same ways for so long. Kind of like with Buffalo in a little bit, and the Ravens. I think the Ravens' job is the one to get. I would like to see Sean McDermott get the Ravens' job or Brian Flores. I don't know about Raheem. I don't know about him. I don't know. Buffalo, that may have to go to an OC or a defensive coordinator out there. I don't think there's a head coach out there. It'd be nice if John Gruden in NFL really made up for real and give him a shot to get back in there, give him another shot at the title. Who's on the collegiate side looking to make the jump? Who wants to go back to a head coach that went coordinator style? We got Eric Public-Bieniemy making a return to the Kansas City Football Chiefs as offense coordinator after a stint with UCLA, Washington, and the Bears running back coach. That's a good choice for him. I still don't agree with what they said about him a few years ago that he didn't interview well. Explain yourself. What does that mean he doesn't interview well? What does that mean? Help me help you. But what could be the go-getter job? Baltimore has a lot of upside to as well, but you gotta figure out the Lamar situation. I think Lamar is a very influential guy to the ownership group with Baltimore, and the players look up to him as well. So whoever it is going to be in Baltimore, it has to make sense on both sides. What it would be like for them to get an offensive-minded coach that wants to call plays. That's rare. But some coaches like calling plays. They bring that back a little bit. In this Buffalo situation, well, they say Josh may need surgery, but he will be ready for OTAs. I don't know how to fix this Buffalo situation. Buffalo and Baltimore are fed up for the way that they lost. The expectations. They didn't get fired for their failures. They were winning. These are winning franchises. They got fired because they're fed up of losing the way they lost. Time after time, year after year. You got a drop ball here. You got a strip here. You got a wide open drop touchdown here. That, you start to really believe in those superstitions. Did something really get buried up under the stadium? And you can't figure it out. The players can't figure it out. We call it the sports gods. Must be playing a trick on us. You do everything you think you're supposed to do right to prepare for the game. And the craziest things happen that we cannot control. You've made that play 1,000 times. You've caught this ball with your eyes closed 1,000,000 times. But on the one particular play, and nobody's around you, and you drop the ball. They say it's the case of the yips. It happens in golf. It happens in baseball. It happens in the NBA. Remember, folks, the basketball player got drafted, number 2, forgot how to shoot. I still think that boy got into a fight with his family, and they messed up his arm in the altercation. Nobody ever wants to talk about that. Marquez Folk. Yeah, when he got drafted, he forgot how to shoot. That was an altercation at his family home. And they messed up that boy on. But when the case of the yips hit people, it's an unexplained era in sports. And when it happens, it's like a meltdown. And it goes in slow motion. You can see the play over and over and over again. It doesn't get any better. But when players don't handle it well, they don't want to talk to the media. What did the media do? If you want me to sit for 4 hours in 5-degree temperature, you better take your ass to that podium and tell me a post-game conference or something. The audacity. You want us to come to these football games, but you don't want to tell us what really went down. Are we wrong for that? That we want to hear from the players, win or lose. I want to hear from the players. We can't hear from the star, but all year we heard from the star, but now we don't want to hear from the star. Football was different. For 2 weeks in a row, football has been different. Nobody had this playoff scenario picked out from 10 weeks ago. Nobody. That's the fun part about the NFL. The other part about the NFL, it becomes the guessing game. Who do you want to see in the Super Bowl? Who deserves to be there? I'm going in with a backup quarterback, but I believe in him because he was a starter for us. Sean Payton's going to do the right thing. I would love to see the Broncos in the Rams. I would love to see the Broncos in the Rams. That would make my day. That would make my day right there. I think that'd do it right there. That'd be a good road trip to California. That'd be a really, really good road trip to California. Folks, it is What It Do Wednesday, and it's the CertaPro Panels presents Montez at Midday. I'm your boy, Dre Montez, and we have chatted up a little bit about the revisiting what happened Monday night in the college football championship game between Miami and Indiana. Who's yours? And Mr. Mendoza. What a season. What a humble young man, too. What a humble young man. Hearing him speak and hearing Carson Beck speak, I didn't know Carson Beck had a vernacular like that. He enunciates well. I like Carson Beck. But Mendoza, from this whole presentation of being the quarterback at Indiana to the whole presentation of him winning and accepting the Heisman Trophy and playing this playoff the way they did and what he did on that 4th and 5 touchdown run. That was a 12-yard run on 4th and 5. You know, he finished with -8 yards rushing. That's probably the craziest thing about that entire game, how he finished the game. But was that one of the most impossible sports titles that you've seen? Of all sports, is that the most impossible title? They did a list this morning on one of the shows. They had the 2007 New York Football Giants in there. They had the 88 Dodgers on there. Now that was impossible. What that Dodger team did, what they did to the Oakland A's, what they did to the Mets. That World Series was good. Here's another one. NC State men's basketball team, 83. Oh, that's a good one. I kind of remember this one, but I don't because I was way too young. The 75 Golden State Warriors. 83 Miami Hurricanes. That's that team that beat Nebraska. I don't know impossible, though. Impossible, I like that Dodgers. That's a good one. That Dodgers, that's an impossible one. The Giants, for the fact that they beat Belichick and Thomas Patrick Jefferson Brady twice. Not many people can say that. And that Giants team, that defense they had was just, it was invaluable, that defensive team. It was invaluable. When I read this the other day, I got to read it again. It's something that Greg Maddux said about Major League Baseball pitching. Former Major League Baseball player, Hall of Famer Greg Maddux said, velocity gets you drafted, but movement and control keeps you in the game. Velocity gets you drafted, but movement and control or command keeps you in the game. Greg Maddux said that, and I think that's true. But I don't like these new analytics about baseball pitching now. Oh, boy. So now, the knock on pitching has been nobody can stay healthy. Everybody's throwing 98 plus. They're doing too much in their arm. URL injuries are up. UCL injuries are up. Rotator cuff problems are up. They're up, because everybody is throwing. They're throwing too much in baseball. So allegedly, this upcoming baseball season, they're projecting that pitchers are probably going to pitch anywhere from 5 to 6 innings. That's going to be the average, pitching 5 to 6 innings. No more guys going 7 innings or more. Then they changed the way about the hitting. They're using the analytics from golf. Who are these people? Whose idea was this? A golf swing and a baseball swing. No, they're not the same. No, but look at the way today's new hitter is swinging the bat. We talked about this, about getting the arm up. They don't preach that no more. They don't. The fundamentals that we grew up to throw, pitch, run, catch, slide, throw that window. Throw that window. What we were doing was wrong. What we were taught was wrong. The baseball bunch with Johnny Bench, they said we were wrong. This week in baseball, Twip notes. Hi, I'm Mel Allen. They said we were wrong. But the way they're swinging the bat now is the correct way. I beg to differ. They really changed the rules of the game right in front of us. They changed everything about baseball that we thought was right is different now. Even the way they keep a scorebook. I tell you what, go see my boy John Gibbs at Don Brown Chevrolet, 2244 South Kings Highway. New, pre-owned, used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Go see my guy, John Gibbs, also known as the STL Truck Hillbilly, at Don Brown Chevrolet, 2244 South Kings Highway. Stop on by and tell them Dre Montez told you to come on down and get yourself a vehicle. You know, I'm always questioning if we're doing the right thing by one another. And I'm wondering with these athletes that are no longer playing, are the leagues doing their part to check on these guys? Their state of mind, they live in the situation, their health, just to check them. Because I'm wondering about the NBA. Michael Beasley. I'm worried about that young man. And it seems as though he only gets attention after the fact. He told them on the pivot that he don't have nobody. Nobody talks to him. Nobody calls and checks on him. He feels like he's by himself. How does a man play in a professional league, done playing, and nobody called checking people? They should do a better job of preparing these athletes for life after sports. When it's done and over with, whether you leave because you got injured or you leaving because of time served, it should be a process to bring you in just as much to bring you up out of there. Because not everybody can handle it well. You see all of their stories. None of them do well when they immediately retire. None of them. They all going through some type of battle. They have to figure it out. It's not just easy to go back into the home life, modern day routine. You've been gone for 12 years, Dad. You don't know how this house works. You got to find out how the house works. Where do you fit in there? What are you going to do? Did you leave injured? Is everything still okay up here? All that factors in. That I don't think none of these leagues do a great enough job for as the exit strategy. You know, in the military, you go through classes as you're getting out. They prepare you for civilian life. They do a great job at preparing you for civilian life. Why doesn't sports do a better job of the exit strategy when these guys are retiring? Not everybody wants to get on the TV and become an analyst. Not everybody wants to be a coach. What if I've played 15 years, I'm done, and I just want to chill? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Well, tomorrow, if you guys not doing anything, come on out and see me tomorrow at 4630 Lindell. Yeah, buddy, we will be there tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 11. Sipping on some coffee. Sipping on some coffee tomorrow. Sipping on some coffee. Because coffee does what? It accentuates the day. But what are we going to do about these 3 vacancies in the NFL? What's a good fit? What makes sense, really? Buffalo, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. I need a tough guy in Pittsburgh. I need a tough guy. A coach that don't take no bull. Barely smiles. Burly guy. Great beard. I need a guy like that in Pittsburgh. They need somebody like that. They don't need no new age damn coach coming out here with putting plays on the tablet. No, we're going to write in the dirt like we used to as kids. And you be here and you be the X and you go to that car and turn right. At that lamppost, go left and hit you right there in the end zone on 3. The days of backyard football, street football, car, the good old days. I think we had some of the best football games known to man when I used to live in the projects. We used to get down. We used to get down with some football. Man, we had a whole little field. We had some battles in court ball. We used to play against Laclede Town. Oh, them the good old days, man. Organized with kids. Playing our own game with umpires and everything. The good old days of a childhood. The good old days of a childhood. But those were the days, man, playing pickup football. When the last time you played pickup football? Tackle. Not flag, tackle. When the last time you played tackle football? I was 30. Thanksgiving, I was 30. Yep, that was the last time. That was it. Once you get a certain age, there's certain things you don't want to do anymore. Like running. Oh, my God. When's the last time you ran? When's the last time you ran? I have one of the funniest stories of all time. Bless you. I was taking a walk. Bless you. I was taking a walk with my dog, Espen. May she rest easily. And something told me to turn around. I turned around, and there was this big-ass dog coming after me and my dog. My dog was a min pin. So we're running. I picked the dog up. I'm running with the dog. We're running top speed at 8 o'clock in the morning down Pestalozzi. This dog was coming. This is the biggest damn dog I've ever seen in my life. Oh, my God. I ran across Gravois without looking. I was top speed, and the dog got stuck by traffic over there. I was sweating like I had ran a 30-mile marathon. That was one of the craziest mornings ever, but that was the last time I ran, and that was from a dog. We did it. We survived. So I'm quite sure we all have habits that we do at home that we become fond of doing to pass the time, or I don't know if you multitask while you're writing, you're watching something else, or you're listening to something. Well, my thing is rewatching the Boondocks. Look here. Doing 420 time at the house. Certain episodes, I say to myself, how was this show allowed on TV? They go hard in the paint on that show. And Regina King is so talented to do both of those voices. I mean, that show is everything. But I watch the Boondocks every day. And I find something in the episode that it either tickles me or makes me just want to dive deep into thought over something. Like the episode when they discuss how black people get mad when you step on their shoes. Hey, that would change life. The disrespect of someone to step on your shoe and they know they stepped on your shoe and don't say, excuse me, or pardon me, or my bad, or nothing. They just keep walking. I learned about stepping on shoes than in a military school. You had to shine your shoes. That's the worst thing you had to do. Somebody step on your damn shoes. What? Damn them Jordans. I had to shine them shoes, man. I got inspection today. You took pride in your shoes. But that episode they talk about stepping on people's shoes, boy, I'm telling you what, the Boondocks will have you up in here, up in here, up in here. And I also learned a new phrase yesterday from a guy on TikTok. He said, hold on. Baby stood. He said he shot his shot at Baby stood. And he said, I may be turned out because she choked me. The things men be admitting to on TikTok about their sexual behavior is just mind-boggling to me. This man is dead serious in this video talking about Baby stood. 2026. I know it's early, but you have kept me laughing with the shenanigans, with my friends, with the conversations I have with my friends, the things my friends have been telling me that they're doing. And by the way, to the folks that are still holding on to their New Year's resolution, still going to the gym, still saving $50 in your paycheck, all that, keep it up. Don't let nobody knock your New Year's resolution. If you're doing a dry January, good for you. Good for you. Don't let nobody make you feel a different way because you don't want to drink for the month of January. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, the only things I don't like is that no shaving crap. They're going to stop that. They're going to stop all that. That's crazy. But for the most part, New Year's resolution, so far, so good. I said I wasn't going to give any dating advice this year, and I haven't. So I'm doing really good. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I just looked the other way. I just mind my own business. Just mind my own business. Because, you know, when you talk for a living, you can say something to make people feel uncomfortable sometimes without even realizing. You can say some things sometimes to make people feel uncomfortable and you don't even realize it. Speaking of realizing, next week, Monday through Wednesday, Friendly's in South City will be closed Monday through Wednesday next week at 3503 Roger Place. We got to finish up some remodeling that we're doing over there. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be closed. So there's next week now. Next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all my day drinkers got to find somewhere else to go. Got to find somewhere else to go. In walking distance for me. So we will have a new hangout next week, probably for sure. But most importantly, I still don't believe and understand what happened in that locker room with the Buffalo Bills. I can't believe the reports that are coming out of there. They said Josh was crying in a way that was uncomfortable. That's that cry talk. You know how women cry talk? You can't understand what they're saying. I think it was like that, which is the worst cry in America. The cry talk, I can't understand you. What are you talking about? Use your words. They say he was that bad. He was leaning in the locker room crying. Winning affects you. And when you got everybody telling you you're supposed to win and you're going to win and you don't win, that's a reality check. That is football is sports and winning. It comes with the price. It comes with the price. Do you have what it takes to win? And football is a team sport. It's not an individual sport, people. I understand the finger pointing that Josh is getting. I understand the finger pointing that the Chicago Bears got. San Francisco Giants, San Francisco 49ers. The injury bug hit the teams at the wrong time. And no matter how many times Analysts try to tell people or give advice what they think teams should do. Nobody's listening. Buffalo knew they had wide receiver problems months ago. Why didn't go out there and get somebody? Why? Because they just wanted Josh to do it by himself. It's a team sport. It takes 53 people, right? You need all 53. And they probably had 40 players at the end of the season that were healthy. But I noticed something this past NFL season, playoff runs, wild card and divisional. Look how many guys got playoff checks because they got upgraded from the practice squad. Now, I applaud that. Practice squad money and game day money, big difference. Big difference. We can take the kids and go somewhere now, baby. Yeah, it was a lot of people that got game day checks from the wild card to divisional playoffs in the NFL this year. And I think that is awesome because the one kid, he's been in the league 12 years and he made his first NFL start. He's been on a practice squad for 12 years. You know how much of a dedication that takes? You know how many times his wife or family said, when are you going to give this up, Jeff? When are you going to let this go? Your kids are missing you at home. He's still fighting for the dream. There's nothing wrong with that. It's some amazing practice squad stories out there. It's some amazing minor league baseball stories out there. NBA G League. Some amazing stories out there. But these guys that still want to make it to the pros. They're not washed up. It's just too much talent up here. And they got to wait it out. They got to wait it out through the injury bug, trades, infidelity, because that's affecting people nowadays. That's affecting people big time right now. I just don't understand, for the life of me, how you work so hard to get to the pros, how you work so hard to build that house or get the house, and then you don't have a dog, you don't have a camera, you don't leave nobody there, and your house get broken into and you wonder why. I don't understand professional athletes that still drive, and I don't understand professional athletes that have houses, and they know they're going to be gone, but there's nobody there. Yo, homeboy, homegirl, aunt, uncle, cousin, Ray, what? Somebody going to be in that house. At all times, it would be somebody there, either a human or a big dog. I definitely have a big dog. Two, three, four of them. We got to protect the compound. We got to protect the house. But tomorrow we will be in Central West End at Outpost Coffee and Bricks. It will be a lot of fun. 4630 Linda. If you're in the area, if you've never been, it's at the Bel Air Hotel, right there in the heart of Central West End. I think the weather tomorrow will be agreeing with us. I heard some rumors that the weather is supposed to get very interesting next week, but I don't like when we try to play meteorologists. No. Remember that year they said it's going to snow, it's going to do this, and they canceled the school. They had the trucks out and everything, and it was 72 degrees. We're not going to play weatherman that far ahead. We're not going to do that. No. We're going to take it day by day, as we should. I know it's fun looking ahead, but taking it day by day is something else. I still don't believe the way Buffalo just fired their coach. Was it well-deserved? They jumped the gun a little bit too early? Or do you understand their moves? Do you understand their moves? In the way I do, but I need more data. Because this Keon Coleman thing, if the owner was not on board with that draft pick, why did y'all draft him? I think it's the 33rd pick. Has not panned out for Buffalo at all, whatsoever. Not his fault he's that little. They should have went out and got a 6'4", 6'5" guy. But no, they went and got nobody to stretch the field. Nobody. And then they lost 2 receivers the week before, the Denver game. So it looked like it was bound to happen some way or another where somebody's going to be fired with Buffalo. Did it have to be the head coach? Should it have been the GM? I think Buffalo needs to go back to the drawing board on this one. I can imagine what the media is like in Buffalo. And they got that new building coming next year. So whoever gets the job, I hope it makes sense. I hope it's not one of those hires just to give somebody a job for a year. Because you don't really have there's nobody out there you really want right now. But you don't want to say it out loud. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen between Baltimore, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh. All three are going to get their guy. Or is it time for a woman to get a head coaching job? Is it time? We got assistant coordinators out there. They see the game from a different level. They have a better teach back than men do when it comes to the learning curve. I think women do. When it comes to the explanation of your job in sports, I think women have a great job of giving the teach back moment in order for you to hone your skills. I really do. Look at what Jalen Hurts said about his female coach, how she helped him. When you have someone to observe you or coach you, and you're not afraid of constructive criticism, you're going to go far. You're going to go far. But many can't hack it. And I guess we're going to see now how many more coaches are going to be replenished. Who's coming up from the college level? Is anybody from high school level getting a shot? I want to see where these new breed of coaches coming from, or are we just going to keep rotating these coaches? Who's the new guy in town? Who's the new guy in town? I guess time will tell, as they always say it will. But most importantly, we will be out and about with the people, other people, by the people tomorrow. Outpost Coffee and Bricks, 4630 Lendl from 9 to 11. And on Friday's show, immediately following the show, we plan on going downtown to check out some RVs. Okay, RV time. That's where I can just relax in my own world. Just drift off and fantasize that I'm actually owning an RV. Oh, that's the fun part there. When you get to dream. Dreaming as an adult is much funner and easier to control as you dream when you were a kid. When you're a kid, you don't know too much. You don't know too much. You don't know too much what you're working with. I didn't mean to do that. All right. Well, folks, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to let you folks enjoy the rest of your What It Do Wednesday. And thank you for tuning in to CertaPro Painters. Oklahoma City presents Montez at midday. Let the professionals do the work, residential or commercial. Yeah, baby. So thanks again for tuning in, StreamYarders. What up? What up? What up? What up? Peace out. Until next time, I holla at ya. All right, folks, we'll get out of here, play some music, and get on with the rest of this day. Some foot stomping music. Let's get it on here with the people. Peace out. Boom.